Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode, Potato Land. It's my weekly activity vlog sort of thing. Right off the bat, maybe a little less energy than I'd like, so we're kicking it up here. How's everybody doing? And by that I mean hopefully everybody's doing good and or just normal, just sort of a vibe. I'm doing good and or normal myself, and very happy to be filming when I want to be filming, unlike last week, I should mention. But moreover, we've got things to talk about because I write things down, but no, I really didn't actually. And this week I am going off the cuff again. I don't know. It's always a gamble, I suppose. And I started my watch, and hopefully you're giving me 15 minutes, if not less. Especially if I don't catch heat or fire, excuse me. Already stumbling my way through the first intro part. Here we go. What do I do? First things first, we could also get rid of all the in-between words whenever there's moments of silence. Keeping that in mind, I suppose I could start off with the first thing that is atop my brain, which is similar to how am I doing? And since it's the thing that I produce, I'm happy to get into it a little bit. Try and keep this as short as possible. I jumped back on the horse this week, so a bit excited about that. Don't want to be overly excited or nothing. Not publicly anyway. It's not that important. I'm just joking. Mostly. I already thought about doing this. I should probably be pretty casual after I come back from, my little appointment I scheduled for myself. So, we covered last week already there, and as far as more talk about the subject of that guy who got arrested in Romania, and it's not that I don't want to say his name. I don't want to swear, and that's about it. But I don't want to be a fucking gossip rag. There I go, swearing. Andrew Tate, getting out of whatever it was, or however. I saw some clip on the interwebs, and by that I mean on my phone, and by that I mean on Instagram, about him getting out, or sort of what the circumstances were, getting out of trouble, if I can finish that thought on the second go round. And his brothers or somebody's explanation of what the story really was. And of course there's a mischievous woman involved, and I don't really mean of course, but so I didn't really want to broach the subject again much, except for to talk about the larger picture in my imagination, or in my estimation. And by that I mean, it's an interesting curve the internet has after becoming so popular to the masses. We're sort of getting, it's sort of like, I don't have a great analogy here, but what I'm thinking of right now is like a bed sheet, and maybe it progressively is moving in one direction, and then you have like every 5 or years, or maybe this is going to get more and more often or something, you have somebody punching it down, or my initial thought was punching it up. So maybe the bed sheet is going in a downward direction, and by that I mean everybody's a little too careful, a little too closed off about, getting out there. It's a common shyness. We're all being, subliminally, and that doesn't mean that it's on purpose, conditioned to sort of get along with everybody in the room. That's how I think of the internet. Everybody just shoved in the same room together. And now, understandably, that's by our choice. But so, my initial thought was this bedspread or this sheet or whatever was straight. And then you have dents, maybe that go up and down, or I would say the female approach is a little more steady-handed. The male approach is a little more violent or sharp or quick, or you get it. So I wouldn't be surprised. It's a sort of a light prediction that the internet will sort of come around and be back to somewhere where we were before the year 2000 or something, maybe even as old as 98 or something. Back in those days, it's probably a little more rogue too, right? But so a sort of a mix of between the two, and that I'm not really saying much by saying that. I don't think it's a, I don't think it's a strong prediction, or arguably even an opinion. But I will claim it as banter for public consumption. I'm not saying I have any other private thoughts on it. That's just really how I see it. I wouldn't be surprised if I heard that the guy was actually saying things like, so that's the thing, is I looked up his mom. Does Andrew Tate have a mother? Sort of cliffhanger from last week. And yeah, I mean, I don't know when she might have initially said it, but it certainly looked like, off of a quick phone search, that she had come out since he got arrested and said, I don't support he wasn't raised like this, sort of paraphrasing, but you get the message. And I believe she had, per my, again, very quick glancing, she had said this after the arrest, if I wasn't already clear about that before. So, trying to move on here, but overall, when I heard his message, I didn't hear I actually did see that Patrick David Bett interview. I think I watched the whole thing, but it was a chore. I'm not joking. Not just because of the 5 hours. I mean, there are some people that would wince at some of the things he says out loud so confidently, I'm sure. And it just felt, I want to learn at school when I'm a kid. I steal this from these British comedians that I know, but I might as well name them. Carl Pilkington, not really a comedian, but sort of a radio host on the Ricky Gervais show. Okay, right. So yeah, stealing this from him, but entertain me while I'm learning, please. You don't have to do so much. I have this old Facebook post. It probably goes back before I was ever listening to that show, that says, teach me and make me laugh. And it's a clip of Louis C.K. talking about cell phones and children, I believe, or something. Don't go on I don't have a Facebook. I don't use it. Don't search for it, is what I mean. It's not there. I'm sure I'm off the public search algorithm thing. So anyway, was that fun? Did we get it anywhere? How do I keep it tight without delays? I've been thinking I'm due for a long pause after all the yip yap from previous weeks. So hang in there with me. I don't know. We could consider ending it. Why not? It's early. It's late for me. I shouldn't really be talking about the conditions outside. This is always daytime, or at least well lit environment. I don't have anything much to say. Let's just get out of here. I'm happy to sign off early for once. My apologies. Okay, so the shower stopped running and people can hear me now.